Hi, all you home talkers out there. My name is Shelley Levis and I'm streaming live from Langley, British Columbia, Canada. And we're going to be talking about some do-it-yourself bird feeders today. That one I'm going to save for in a few minutes, and I'm going to show you how to get going on this right now. So, I'm going to show you first of all how to make the most simplest thing. Now, if you've got friends or somebody that's a bird lover, make sure you share this video because I'm going to show you guys how to use this little gadget here, which is a toilet paper roll, folks, and turn it into a bird feeder. First of all, you need a plate. Let's go ahead and put some bird seed on here. Now, I'm not alone. My husband is joining me because he's my cameraman. Chris, say hi. So if you guys have any questions, you go ahead and just ask, and he's going to funnel those questions to me, and then I'm going to respond. All right, first of all, the first one we're going to do, using our toilet paper roll and organic peanut butter, is we're just simply going to do this. Now, this is great for kids. So like I said, if you know somebody who has kids, this is a great afternoon project when they say they're bored. You're just going to spread some of that peanut butter on there. You can come on in closer there, Chris. Can you see that okay? I'm just going to spread that onto the toilet paper roll. Just like that. Nice and easy. And then we're going to roll it into the thing. Now, why is it important to feed the birds right now? I'm telling you this, doing this DIY because it's been a rough winter, and I'm sure it's been a rough winter in your parts as well too. So can you guys tell me where you're from? What's the weather like right now? Because I can tell you right now, here in Langley, British Columbia, it's a little bit rainy and a little bit cloudy. But the birds have been having a hard time finding food underneath all the snow. Now, even though the snow might be gone in your parts, if it got really cold this year, what's ended up happening is a lot of those seeds and those berries, they might have got zapped by the cold and they're not edible anymore. So making these is a great way. So as you can see, I'm going to take the toilet paper roll and I'm just going to simply roll it into this bird seed, just like that. How easy is it that, right? Do you like this? Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. So tell me where you guys are tuning in from. I've got a special question today too. If you guys tell me what you used for a bird feeder, you have an opportunity to win a Hometalk exclusive tote. So make sure you're responding to that. And I'm going to show you that. See, now how easy is that? Now, to hang it up, we're just going to use a little piece of pretty little ribbon. Let's go like this. And we're just going to tie that right through. And this will help us go and tie it onto any tree. Hang a yellow ribbon from a tree, just like that. And that's your first do-it-yourself bird feeder. Done in a few seconds using recycled materials. So we're going to put that one off to the side. Now we're going to get into the one that I was showing you guys when you first looked in. Now, you know those birds, they love to be able to have a variety of seeds and berries. Different birds eat different things. Let's get that out of the way. And this little guy right here is the beginning of, whoopsies, my little sign. Let's fix that. This is the beginnings of being able to do this. Now, if you guys go to the hometalk.com and you find my projects there, you're going to see that the first ones I did were hearts. And you can use any mold that you want. We're going to be using this mold because it is Easter, and I thought it was kind of super fun. So this is the mold we're going to use. I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to show you how to make these things. Press them to the center. So basically what you're going to want to do for this is you're going to want about 2 cups of birdseed. Put that into the bowl, just like that. We're going to add some Knox gelatin. Oops, get that open. Into that. Now this is your binding agent. Another binding agent, and all of this stuff is going to be like your honey and some flour. So for the flour, I used about half a cup. And for the honey, about 3 tablespoons. I'm just going to mix it all in there, just like that. And then we're going to use about a 1/4 cup of water. Okay, and that'll just wet all those ingredients, and we're just going to mix all that bird seed together. Putting it all into nice, big mucky mess. Now this is going to be able to be pushed into any form. I've used tin foils, and you can use a plastic mold, anything that you desire to get this shape. And basically you don't need to bake this. This is a non-bakeable item. You can just literally put it into the mold, leave it sit for a couple of hours, and then we're going to let it, once it's dry, it'll form into a nice little hard shape that you can work with. Okay, so that's pretty wet right there. So we're going to go ahead, stick it into the mold. And this actually makes the perfect amount for the mold that I have here. So how's the weather where you guys are? You guys let me know, where are you? What's your weather like? Do you have snow? Are you gardening yet? I am a garden girl. My name is Shelley Levis. If you're just joining us now, I'm showing you how to make your own birdseed cakes right now, some birdseed do-it-yourself ideas on Hometalk Live. And we've got a cool little question. If you answer it, you get an opportunity to win an awesome Hometalk tote. That is, the question is, what have you used to make a birdseed feeder? Okay, so I'm now just pushing all that stuff into there. You can see I'm just really tamping it down.
So we have some people in from Charlotte. We have some people in from Illinois.
Wow, what's the weather in Illinois like? Do they say?
Yeah, everyone says it's 90 in Texas.
What? Wow, that's like nice. I was actually in Texas not too long ago. It was absolutely beautiful, and I love people in Texas. They have lots of, like, when the meals there are big, but so are the hearts. I absolutely love Texans. They were fabulous people. So as you can see, I've got it kind of all pressed into the mold. We're just going to let it sit. Now, you might want to do a pre-hole. So whatever you want to use for a hole, I'm just going to use something that's got a little bit of a dibble. And I'm doing that because I want to be able to hang these afterwards. So we're just going to put a little hole in there. Awesome. I'm going to move this off to the side, and I'm going to show you guys the end result. So you can see I have these cute little eggs, and they're nice and hard, and they're nice and crunchy. And I'm just going to make sure I really get that hole in there by just opening it up just a little bit like that. All right. So now I'm going to put it onto a string, and I'm going to use that same thing. You can see that that's a crochet hook, folks. That's all that is. That's going to help me pull a piece of ribbon through the hole like that. And now we're just going to tie it up. All right. Back out a bit. There we go. Okay, so then I'm going to add to my other guys right here.
Shelley, we're asking how long to set them for.
It usually only takes a couple of hours, really, but I let it sit overnight. And if you really want to make sure that if it's for quicker, you could actually put it right into your fridge and it goes really quick. No heat is necessary. This was completely done on my counter, and it's a nice solid little mass there. Now, how adorable is that? Okay, it's really cute, three little feeders. But you know, because I said birds also like berries. Some birds prefer them. So I'm actually going to show you how to do something kind of cute with berries as well. Now, in my parts of the neck of the woods, we actually grow a lot of blueberries here in the Vancouver and Fraser Valley. So I'm just going to show you how that you can create a cute little, I just did this little adorable bunny ear thing. Can you see that? It's a cute little, adorable little bunny ear thing in the shape. When you see this project on Hometalk, you'll see that I did them in the shape of hearts. So we can actually add that to our little arrangement. We'll just tie that on, just for, you know, Easter, just because it's adorable. Awesome. So if you're just tuning in right now, guys, we are doing some do-it-yourself bird feeders. I'm showing you how to do easy birdseed cakes. Of course, everything I'm using is organic. Make sure you're using organic. The birds don't want to do anything that's pesticides or nothing like that. This one
is the recipe on the website?
The recipe is, when you go to the Hometalk, we're going to list all that in there of all the projects I'm showing you today, and you'll be able to find the recipe for this. And again, the recipe is very simple. It's just a little bit of flour, birdseed, Knox gelatin, non-flavored, and some organic honey. And you mix it up in with some water, and that's it. It is literally that many ingredients. Again, something fun for the kids to make. I'm just showing you how you can string berries. Now, if you want to do cranberries or blueberries, blueberries are a popular thing in our area. So I'm just going to show you, it's as simple by just putting them onto a little string like that, and you can add that to your little string of eggs or hearts or whatever shape you desire. And we're just gonna just do this up. Again, just to make sure those berries stay on there. And they'll pick away at that and they'll really appreciate this treat, especially after the winter we had. So if you're just joining us, can you please tell me where are you from? What part of the country are you at? And what's your weather like? I've seen that we've got a few people from Texas. And where else do we got some people from, Chris?
It's cold in Kentucky.
Cold in Kentucky? You guys got snow? Or are you guys out of the snow yet? We have to see. I mean, I'm telling you, this weather has been something else. And it's not just something that we don't like, it's also very hard on our critters. And that's why I'm showing you guys all these cute little ideas here today. So this is one of the ideas right there. You can see that. How adorable would that be, hanging from a tree for Valentine's Day, especially if you got an Easter egg hunt. Why not put something out there for the birds to discover as well? So let's move on to another project. I'm just going to move some of the stuff out of the way. Again, I'll just show you some of the ingredients. So this is the Knox gelatin that I used in that recipe. So it's just unflavored gelatin, just regular flour, and then some bird seed and a little bit of organic natural honey.
Pennsylvania's cold.
Pennsylvania's cold?
Chilly and sunny in Ohio.
Really? So it's not very warm anywhere except for Texas. Texas is the one that's bragging about their weather right now.
Texas is good. East Coast is cold.
It's been a rough winter. So what have you guys done to do your own bird feeders? Like what have you used and what things have you tried to make a bird feeder out of at home? Because that is the winning answering question that they're going to give away a Hometalk tote. So please chime in. And if you're liking these projects, share them. Give me some hearts right now if you love these ideas. And make sure you share them with all your friends. Kids are going to love these projects. This is a great, over Easter when the kids are home for the holidays, this is easy to do. Okay, so I'm going to move on to another one. Now, I'm going to pull out the peanut butter again. And I should have done this the first time. Okay, it's my first Hometalk Facebook Live, so I kind of did things in a wrong order, but hey, we're just going with the flow. This is live. You can't write this stuff. All right, so this peanut butter, I'm bringing it back out again because I want to show you how you can also do a paper towel, like the toilet paper roll. I showed you guys the toilet paper roll one. That is a bird feeder, folks. Pine cones. Do you got pine cones in your area? Pine cones are absolutely fabulous for doing this as well. So I'm just going to smear the peanut butter on here. Now, people sometimes are concerned that peanut butter might get stuck in their beaks. Let me tell you something about birds. They peck at all sorts of things. They'll get their beaks pecked into the sap on trees. They're actually pretty industrious about getting peanut butter off, and you're not using a whole ton. Birds don't chomp, they peck. So they're not going to get a big mouthful of this stuff. They're only going to get a little bit. And if you've ever watched a bird, you've seen them up on a tree and where they're kind of just rubbing their face into the tree and their beak, they're actually cleaning their beaks off. That's what they do when they're roaming back and forth. So they're actually pretty good. They're not going to take big mouthfuls and glue their mouths shut. So you don't have to worry about doing anything that would harm your little critters out there. But this is a simple little thing. You can just see I'm just brushing all this onto a pine cone. And this is, again, a totally organic thing. It can totally break down in your garden and it wouldn't be a problem. So again, we're going to just take that over into your little tray of bird seed. I'm just going to roll it around. And the kids would have a blast doing this, right? What a great little, preschool project or kindergarten project. Something for the kids to do after school. And it gets them outside because once they start seeing that the birds are actually flocking to this, then they get to be a bit of an observer of our Mother Nature out there and maybe just might ignite them to have more passion about getting involved with the outdoors. Simply like that. So in order to hang something like that, you could use it a couple different things. You could use a little bit of ribbon. You could use, you could even use with pipe cleaners. Actually, pipe cleaners are great for the kids because it can wrap it around and they can just hang that on your trees. So very 100% organic bird feeder right there. Okay, so that's the last time I'm pulling out the peanut butter. I'm just going to move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to show you guys something else. Move these out of the way. Okay, so this guy right here is also on Hometalk. You'll find this. This is actually made out of a recycled pallet. How brilliant is that? Like, it's adorable. This is all made out of recycled wood, and I put it all together. On the back part, just Chris to kind of pop in there.
Cindy wants to know real quick, if you're allergic to peanut butter, what else could you use?
Oh, any of the nut butters would be fine. So if you want to do like an almond butter or any of the, maybe a sunflower butter, you can certainly use any of those butters, but make sure it's more of a nut butter and you'll be fine. And please use the organic. I'm sure that if you're already buying that stuff, you'll find an organic substitute anyways. Very easy to find, but use a nut butter instead. And if that doesn't work, if you completely can't be anywhere near nuts, you can also buy the suet, which is, the suet is kind of like a lard that's, you know, in a cake form. You can always slightly melt that down so it gets softened and use that as your adhesive as well too. And you can get suet cakes anywhere. So moving on to this little project here. This is this palette. Chris, I wanted to just show people what this little tab is. This little tab is the back of or the top of a pop can. That's all it is. And then I just use a little nut and bolt to hold it into place, but it works perfectly. So these are actually great little holders. They're totally not complicated, but it's also recycling. So with this little palette guy thing, it's quite a bit of a project to show in this time zone. It's already been made and just shows you how to do all the screwing and stuff like that. And I do have all the pattern pieces available through the hometalk.com when you go there and look up the palette bird feeder. But basically, recognize this. So yes, some alcohol may need to be consumed when you make this. I'm sure you and a couple of girlfriends wouldn't mind doing that. But basically all this is it's a wine bottle with some bird seed in it, and I'm going to actually just put it into the hole that's made there. And I've got a little piece of tape on there so that when I go to invert this, it's not going to all spill out at once. So I'm just going to invert that in there, just like that. And then lift it up, pull off my tape, get that other piece. There we go. You can hang that on any tree. And how cute is that? Completely made out of all recycled materials. Pallet wood to the pop tab to a wine bottle. And this is not only is it cute, it's great for gift giving as well. So all the pattern pieces, you can find that on the post in Hometalk. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about do-it-yourself bird feeders here on Hometalk Facebook Live. If you have weather in your area, tell me what it's like. You got snow, you got rain, is it sunshiny? Are you enjoying a margarita right now while the rest of us are drinking hot cocoa? Let us know. I'm going to show you guys the last little project here. And this is using all recycled materials as well. Let me just move this so we don't have a shadow. Okay. Just grabbing some stuff. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm coming back. Okay, so basically yesterday I went to an antique shop and I found all these bits and pieces. This is just an old tin here. It was probably a mold, a tin, tart tin. This is an old can, and it looks kind of silly because of the apparatus, but I was able to drill through all these holes, and you'll see why in a second. And then I just popped open another hole here, which is just to open it up so that the birdseed can go through that hole. Now this is just a very industrial lid, and I wasn't able to really put a screw through this because he's pretty strong. And I know that most people wouldn't be able to, so that's why I chose this lid, because not everybody's going to find a lid that they can just screw through because they don't have the proper tools or equipment. Whereas this right here is just a simple lid. I chose it because it had the cool little handle. So I'm going to put this together and show you guys. This was actually outside this morning and the birds were going crazy over it. So I'm just going to use a simple nut and bolt. I'm going to stick it through. I've already pre-drilled the hole because this guy was pretty easy to do. I'm just going to put that through. Okay. And then I'm going to just put a little bolt on there so it stays in place. This is super easy. I mean, it's a junk planter. It's going to look super fabulous after it's done, but I didn't have to use a lot of materials to put it together, and it wasn't complicated, and it certainly is something that you guys can do yourself. So already I've got my base. Now I'm going to add some bird seed here. You see, now you can put a couple of multiple holes around the bottom of whatever can you find that you decided to upcycle. And you can spill it all the sides. I found that even when I did this, even with the one hole, they actually were, it spread out quite nicely by themselves because the birds actually kept grabbing it and pulling it back. So they were actually having a heyday this morning. And I think they're missing it right now because they've been outside looking for it since I brought it back inside. So you can see how it's kind of went around. Now I'm gonna put the lid on. So that's all I'm going to do with this lid is just put it on like this, and I'm going to use my wire just to hold it in place so it's easy for me to take it off afterwards. I don't have to unscrew anything. I'm just going to undo the wire when it's time to refill it. And this way I didn't have to screw any holes into it either. And it just holds that lid on top so that when it rains, the protection will be from this lid inside the food, and the food on the underneath will stay okay as well. I'm just going to bring this around. In a couple of seconds, I've just taken all this junk that would have been completely useless and turned it into an adorable little bird feeder that's upcycled and look fabulous on the tree. One more little wrap around. And I can easily take this lid off afterwards. I didn't have to screw anything in. There you go. How adorable is that? Do you love this or not? Like, I mean, come on. Give me some hearts for that. This is a cute little bird feeder made out of junk. This stuff was going to the garbage place, okay, guys? And now we've got something that the birds absolutely, they loved it, and they were not put off at all by the aesthetics. It's not that modern, but it works perfectly fine for our feathered friends. So is there any other questions out there before we get going here? I hope you guys enjoyed this here on Home Talk. Again, today's review of the things that we covered today, we did birdseed cakes, made a recipe found on hometalk.com, and it turned into this adorable little feeder where we used some blueberries on a wire. These cakes are just hanging there. They can help themselves to that. The other thing that we did a toilet paper tube rolled in peanut butter. Great project for children. They're going to absolutely love doing something like that, and it's easy for them to do after school. Go hang it outside, because then these kids can get outside and learn how to play with that. And see how Mother Nature and the birds are flocking to it. Last one that we did here was using a pine cone. Wrapped, also again, we just smeared it with peanut butter and then rolled it around in the bird seed. And then the final...
Shelly, can you explain what the base of the feeder is again?
The base of the feeder? Well, I think any flat thing will do. Like I found this metal, this is like a tart pan. That's what that was. But any round object would do that you could drill through. That's basically a round thing, but I wanted it to be round and flat, and it worked out perfect because it had the rim, so it holds all the seed inside. That's just a coffee container. That's all that is. It's just an old tin, and the lid is just a simple lid, and it's a pretty industrial lid. Like that's a strong lid. I'm not even sure what the material is, but I know I wouldn't be able to screw through it, and that's why I just used the wire to put it together. But I mean, it's a junk planter or junk bird feeder, and it's fabulous. The colors actually worked out really good, and I didn't even plan for that. So you basically, tell me what you have used to make a bird feeder, or what you plan to use to make a bird feeder if you haven't made one out of junk at home. Let us know, and then we could put you into the list to win a Home Talk tote for chiming in. I really hope you guys really enjoyed this segment. If you have any questions, please continue to add them into the feed. I'm going to go onto the feed and chat with you guys live right now to see what your questions are. And make sure you remember those feathered little friends out there. They've had a rough winter too, and they could really use a nice little meal. Thanks, everybody, and be sure to check back later on at 7 p.m. when there's yet another Home Talk Live episode happening with yet another awesome blogger. Thank you so much, and have a great day.